Fucking closer. That's it. It's right fucking behind us. Run, 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 run.
Hope that's not coyotes.
It's out there. I hear you.
There's somebody walking down the bottom of the valley there.
Camping is supposed to be a peaceful escape into nature, a chance to disconnect from the chaos of everyday life. But sometimes the wilderness holds more than just the beauty of the great outdoors. In this video, we're counting down the 5 most disturbing camping encounters ever caught on camera. These real-life experiences will make you think twice before venturing into the woods alone. Elisa Vanilla is a girl who loves nature and lives in a camper van. Her lifestyle allows her to travel across the country, spending nights in different places and experiencing nature at its finest. This time, she stopped in the desert near a road and decided to clean her van. But suddenly, an ATV started approaching her. What you're about to see is footage captured by a camera that was set up to film B-roll. Here's how their conversation went down.
Hi.
You okay?
Yes, I am.
I'm just kind of checking, making sure everybody's got enough water. And...
Oh, okay. Are you a ranger or?
No, I just live close.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of come out and check, make sure, because I know there's a lot of people that come out here that don't have a lot.
I'm fine right now. I don't know if I'll stay here, but I just wanted to check it out and see. It's pretty hot though.
Do you do this, like, is this what you do for a living? Do you, like, travel around or what?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
Yep.
So
Gotta
how long
wait.
have you been doing this for?
I've been in the van for like almost a year, last November, so getting close. But I was traveling out of my car since 2020, so it's been a while.
So you've been a nomad for a while.
Yeah, yes, I'm used to it.
So I kind of drive through when I'm here, just checking on people, making sure they got water, got what they need.
Cool.
They're welcome to actually come in and use the shower a couple times a week. I'm
that's
not
nice.
home. My wife is. My children are. So if you need a shower, you're welcome to, come by. Probably would work better since you're a female. It would probably work better if you came by while I was there a couple of times. Just so my wife gets to know you, so she doesn't think there's something stupid going on.
Right.
But, if you need a shower or something, that's not a...
The man approached her to ask if she needed water, a kind and human thing to do when you see someone alone in the desert on a scorching hot day. But that's where the conversation should have ended. Instead, he kept talking, making her uncomfortable. And the weirdest part, he told her that if she needed a shower, she could take one at his house. Listen, if someone ever says that to you in the middle of nowhere, that's a red flag. Eventually he left, and she felt a lot safer. But that safety didn't last long, because a little while later, the man came back. And this time, it felt even creepier.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
so you have a guy
Uh-huh.
on the mountain up there that is watching you with binoculars.
Okay, well, that's unnerving. Well, I guess I won't be staying.
Well, it's not that you can't stay. Just, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other side of the mountain is safer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's driving a older Dodge pickup, and he told me he comes out here and offers water
Uh-huh.
to people, but I would stay away from him. He told me he parks up there and looks around to see who might need water, who might need this, who might need that. And I was like, I turned and looked and went, well, her camper is right in the open.
Yeah. So did you catch him watching me, or did he just tell you that he was watching me?
When I pulled up, he had his field glasses up looking this direction, and I was like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody that needs water. So anyway, he's you see that white truck underneath the tree?
I'm right in the tree view, so.
All right, come out here and I'll show you. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's also just odd that there's not really anybody out here.
Get a good description of that truck.
It was a white truck.
It's white and burgundy.
It really sucks. It was really nice out here, but well, at least I got to put my laundry away. It's always easier to do housekeeping out in the open rather than in the city somewhere. So just finishing up my laundry and then I'll probably have to leave, but that's okay. Do you need anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
The man had no good intentions. Sure, he was pretending to be helpful, even warning her about some other man supposedly stalking her. But watch his face when she's just trying to fold her laundry. He just stands there, silent, for a whole minute. Who knows what's going through his mind? You can almost see him battling with himself, debating his next move. I don't know about you, but to me, he looks very suspicious. The second he walked away, she didn't waste any time. She packed everything and drove as far away as possible. Because, let's be real, if he came back twice, you just know he'd check on her again at night. And that time, there wouldn't be anyone around to see if something happened. Alex and Emma, a British couple with a passion for travel, have dedicated their lives to exploring the world together. Through their videos, they share both the highs and lows of their adventures, hoping to spread positivity and inspire others to chase their dreams. However, while their content is usually lighthearted and uplifting, if this adventure had gone as planned, it wouldn't have ended up as part of a creepy video feature. Excited to begin a new chapter of their journey, Alex and Emma had recently purchased their very first camper van. After weeks of mechanical repairs at a local garage, they were finally ready to hit the road and embark on their next adventure. Everything was falling into place, and their anticipation grew with each passing day. But just as they were preparing to set off, their plans took a sudden and terrifying turn. It was May 28th, 2022. The couple was out running errands, organizing their belongings, and making a quick stop at the post office to return a few packages. The day seemed completely ordinary until it wasn't. As they drove back home, Alex suddenly noticed something alarming, smoke creeping up near his feet. His initial confusion quickly turned to panic as the realization hit. Something was seriously wrong. Without hesitation, the couple pulled the camper van over to the side of the road. But the moment Alex opened the door, his worst fear was confirmed. Flames were already flickering beneath the vehicle, rapidly growing stronger. Acting on instinct, Alex leapt out of the van, desperate to assess the situation. Out of nowhere, a man came running toward them, a fire extinguisher in hand. He had already spotted the fire and knew there was no time to waste. But amidst the chaos, Emma was still inside, unaware of just how dire the situation had become.
At this point, I look back and the van is in flames, but Emma is still in the van. I don't think you realised how serious the whole situation was at that point.
So at this point, I knew there was smoke, and I guess I just assumed it was coming from the engine and kind of making its way into the cab.
Yeah, so I was shouting at Emma to get out of the van instantly. That image of the van being on fire and Emma inside will probably stay in my mind for a very long time. It's something that keeps getting replayed. But this is when, so I had my phone on me, so started to record. So this is maybe 10 seconds after Emma got out of the van.
What have we got in there?
The man fought desperately to extinguish the flames, doing everything he could to contain the fire. He had likely been at it far longer than he should have, putting himself in serious danger as the blaze grew more intense by the second. But despite his efforts, the fire was relentless. It spread rapidly, swallowing more of the vehicle with each passing moment. Eventually, it became clear there was nothing more he could do. In one swift motion, he turned and ran, realizing that staying any longer would put his own life at risk. That was the moment when reality fully sank in for Alex and Emma. The fire was out of control, and they could no longer afford to stand so close. They had to move. Without hesitation, they turned and ran, putting as much distance as possible between themselves and the burning camper van. If the fire reached the fuel tank, an explosion was inevitable.
Run!
Oh my god!
What do we do? M.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What the f do we do? What do we do?
I don't know.
Should we run down that way? Oh my god!
I think we're going to climb over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh god. I don't know what's in this building, so I just want to go.
Run.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, that's an old truck.
Oh my god. Oh. Are we safe here?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on if it has a propane tank or not.
Once we were far enough away, all we could do is just watch it burn. Our tiny home on wheels was gone.
Em, we're safe. We're safe.
Has anybody called 911?
No, we just ran out. Someone came with a fire extinguisher, and then
So this just happened?
just happened. We were driving it
Okay,
2 minutes ago.
Call 911.
Yeah, please, thank you. Oh god.
The harsh reality set in. What was meant to be their home for the coming months was now engulfed in flames. All they could do was stand there, helpless, watching as their long-awaited camper van was reduced to nothing but smoke and ashes. The weight of the moment was overwhelming, their dream slipping away right before their eyes. Devastated, they could only wait for the fire department, who fortunately arrived quickly. But by then, the damage had already been done. Their camper van, their ticket to adventure, was gone.
This absolute angel of a woman was checking to make sure we were okay. She invited us into her car to sit in the air conditioning and sort of compose ourselves and calm down.
I don't know what I would do if I was in this situation.
No, I don't know what I'm doing in this situation.
We felt very exposed outside. It was just so intense, like taking a moment to sit inside a car definitely helped calm us down a bit. Once we'd calmed down a little bit, we then had to go and speak to the police and give all our details. And again, like everyone else that we met in this frenzy, they were so nice and so reassuring.
And after what felt like an eternity, the fire department had actually put out the flames, they put out the fire, and we could go and actually see the full scale of the damage that was done.
Honestly, I was very overwhelmed. Like, I didn't even notice. It was only when you shouted about the smoke.
And we're safe. Like, we're literally safe. I know.
This experience was deeply shocking for the couple, but there was one small silver lining. They hadn't yet moved their belongings into the van at the time of the fire. It was still an empty home, waiting to be filled with everything they needed for their journey. In fact, they had planned to move in the very next day, bringing along their passports, laptops, and all their essentials. Realizing how close they had come to losing not just their camper van, but everything they owned made the situation even more surreal. Despite the devastating loss of their camper van, Alex and Emma chose to focus on what truly mattered. They were safe, and their most valuable belongings had been spared. Though the experience was a heartbreaking setback, it also served as a powerful reminder of how quickly things can change. Rather than letting this disaster crush their adventurous spirit, the couple decided to see it as just another chapter in their journey, one they would one day look back on as a test of resilience. Though this wasn't the adventure they had planned, it was one that reinforced their love for travel, their appreciation for life, and their belief that even in the face of loss, new beginnings are always possible. Before we dive in, I'd really appreciate it if you took a moment to subscribe to the channel and become part of this amazing community. About 95% of you watching aren't subscribed. It's completely free. Now, let's get back to the video. This video comes from Franco TV, the renowned YouTube channel run by Frank, who fearlessly explores some of the most haunted and sinister locations worldwide. In this overnight adventure, Frank takes us to an abandoned monastery in South America, a site infamous for its haunting atmosphere and a dark history of demonic rituals. It's October the 16th, 2023, and Frank arrives at the eerie monastery under the cover of night. From the very beginning, the atmosphere feels oppressive, with strange noises echoing around him, setting the tone for a terrifying night.
And right over here is a monastery. You can see how the moon is barely touching it. What the hell was that? I just heard something back there. It sounds like a scream. Jesus, I hate this. Going in is the hardest part. I'm making my way to the side of the church here. It's complete darkness. I'm going in with no light. Except for the moonlight. Jesus. What the hell was that? I just got a sound from out there. Alright, at this point now, I'm gonna go inside because I am freezing cold. I'm gonna see if I can switch my camera into color because it is extremely dark.
Even before stepping inside, unsettling screams pierce the silence. Assuming the sounds are coming from the surrounding forest, Frank steels himself and ventures into the abandoned monastery to begin his exploration.
What the hell is this? Look at this. Someone put a skull. I just heard a noise. What the hell is this? So yeah. I don't know if I touched that and that just fell. Like I leaned up on this and that might have fallen. But that scared me. So something demonic is definitely going on here. And of course the upside down cross. What the hell, man? This place is going to hell in a handbasket. Listen. I just got a creepy sound. I don't know if that was upstairs or outside.
Inside, Frank stumbles upon what appears to be the site of a demonic ritual. As he surveys the area, eerie sounds seem to emanate from deeper within the building. Just as he decides to investigate further, more strange noises echo, but this time, they come from the woods outside.
I'm getting weird noises coming from back here. At this point now, because I'm hearing noises on the outside, I think I'm going to go ahead and use a thermal imaging camera and kind of scoping out this place to see if I can see anything hiding into the forest that maybe the night vision isn't picking up. The thermal will definitely pick it up. I'm hearing like distant screams already.
Determined to uncover the source of the commotion, Frank pulls out his thermal imaging camera, hoping to capture something that his night vision equipment might miss.
Now using thermal night vision, and I got something right there. It's given a pretty strong heat signature. There it is again, right there. Anything that's warm will come off as black. Nothing in this area is registering that color like that. What? That? It just made a noise. I'm gonna switch onto my thermal, my night vision. As of right now, I don't see what I saw on thermal, but there is something there. Let's see if I go start walking a little bit close to it.
Through the thermal camera, Frank detects movement in the bushes. Creepily intrigued yet unsettled, he cautiously approaches, hoping to uncover the source of the strange noises and determine if what he saw was responsible for them.
Hello? Thing sounds like a freaking monster. It was like, "Roar." Hello? Screw this place, man. Okay. What's even more creepy is that there's a trail right over here that goes further in. Turning on my flashlight. Yeah, that is a legit trail. I am now directly in front of whatever was on thermal. Something is in the forest. I don't know what it is, but I got a huge growl or moan or something that came from here. Earlier I was hearing more sounds coming from the forest. I'm gonna get back to safety in the inside and see if I could start doing EVP or something and seeing what I can get. I'm actually creeped out just even being here.
As Frank edges closer, he calls out several times, his voice echoing in the stillness of the night, but there is no response. The silence only deepens his unease. Unsure of what might be lurking in the shadowy forest and feeling an overwhelming sense of vulnerability, Frank chooses to retreat. He heads back inside the monastery, hoping to find some semblance of safety. However, the night's horrors were far from over.
I now have the spirit box on. I'm in. Torch. You want me to torch this place? I don't know what it meant by torch. Look at this. Again, I'm not touching anything, but I probably might light a candle. Sue. Is that someone's name? Is Sue? I just got a sound over here. Sound like a bang. Listen. It's coming from behind the door. Sue? Who's there?
While attempting to communicate with the paranormal using his spirit box, a sudden, unexplainable sound echoes from behind a door. Frank calls out, but no response comes. Mustering every ounce of courage, he cautiously approaches the door, determined to uncover the source of the unsettling noise.
Fresco.
Fresco. I don't know if you guys see anything, but it smells in here. That was creepy though.
He swings the door open and checks inside, but to his surprise, there is nothing there. No sign of anything that could have caused the noise. The emptiness of the space only deepens the mystery, leaving Frank to wonder if what he heard was something truly paranormal. Determined to push forward, he brushes off his unease and refocuses on his investigation, continuing his attempts to communicate with whatever spirit might inhabit this eerie place.
Can you turn off one of the candles for me? Benjamin. What about Benjamin?
I'll move something.
I'll move something. Please do. She said
I'm in the corner.
That's creepy. I just got a sound.
Then, a loud bang suddenly echoes through the monastery, coming from behind the same door. The noise reverberates through the empty halls, sending a jolt of fear through Frank. This was the breaking point. After everything he had experienced, Frank decided that staying any longer would be too dangerous. He abandons his plan to spend the night, quickly gathers his things, and leaves the monastery behind, its mysteries unsolved. As he walks away, he takes with him an experience he will never forget. This next clip is from the YouTube channel Leslie Mansfield, where Leslie herself shares her outdoor adventures, as it's what she loves to do the most and where she finds her true joy. Normally, Leslie's videos are lighthearted and informative, showcasing the beauty of nature and her experiences. But in this particular clip, her wild camping adventure took a drastically different turn than usual. It's January 26, 2025. Leslie has decided to embark on a solo, wild camping trip to a location she has had her eye on for a while, but never visited before. The area is known for its peace and serenity, making it the perfect place to escape from everything. Eager to experience the tranquility of the wilderness, she sets out with excitement, prepared for a night in nature. After arriving at her starting point, Leslie begins her hike through the dense forest, feeling the crisp winter air as she ventures deeper into the woods. Her excitement is palpable as she envisions the peaceful evening ahead. Determined to find the most remote spot she can, far from the usual trails, she seeks true solitude with nature. The sun starts dipping lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the trees. But Leslie remains focused, determined to find the perfect place before darkness fully sets in. Everything feels just right, calm, quiet, and secluded. Little does she know, something is about to disrupt this serene escape.
Bridleway diversion route. Well, I'm not on a horse, so am I allowed? Bridleway closed. We're felling the diseased and dying ash trees along this bridleways. Great. That means I'll be all alone, except if other naughty people who are willing to go through tape come down here. Oh, let's have a look at where I'm going.
Despite the no trespassing signs, Leslie decides to stick to her plan, ignoring the warnings and pushing deeper into the forest. Her determination to find the perfect spot for the night keeps her focused, unaware that her decision is about to lead her down an unsettling path. As the light fades, she notices the sun sinking faster than she had hoped, making her realize she needs to find a place to settle soon. Fortunately, she spots a small hill ahead, an ideal place to set up camp for the night. Reluctantly, she decides it's time to settle down. She begins to unpack her gear, but before she can even set up her tent, something catches her eye in the distance.
Don't know if you can see that, but there's somebody walking down the bottom of the valley there with a torch. I'm sure they're fine and innocent, but I've turned all my lights off until they've walked by. That person with the torch going along, I was about to set the camera up and I was about to say, oh, I'm on a hilltop and I can see they're about to leave the valley, so that's good. But they didn't. They came back and sort of towards the tent, and I just thought, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Pat, the camera, in fact the camera is what I was worried about. First time I've used this, Insta360. My first ever camera. It's funny how I was packing that, wanting to make sure that was okay. And my hip belt I wear, so it's got my mobile and keys, so I just got my rucksack on and left the tent and hid down in the trees to make sure they went, because I also wanted to check what they were doing rather than just, you know, me leaving. And eventually they left. I don't know, I was spooked by then, so I found a different spot.
A chill runs down her spine as she notices a figure slowly inching closer. Her pulse quickens, and the weight of the silence in the forest grows heavier. Not wanting to give in to fear, she decides to move toward a small clearing deeper into the woods, a place tucked between trees and thick bushes that offers her more cover. The uneasy feeling fades slightly, though her nerves still buzz in the back of her mind. Once she reaches the secluded spot, hidden from the path, she takes a deep breath, letting out a sigh of relief. She can no longer see the figure from earlier, and the soft rustling of leaves around her seems to wash away some of the tension that had built up. Finally, Leslie begins to set up camp, feeling more comfortable now that she is hidden and protected by the trees.
Hello. Of course, I'm wearing my mountain jacket, so with all the stress I'm boiling.
Everything is set for the night, but the unsettling feeling of being watched creeps back into Leslie's mind. Every sound, every rustle of leaves seems louder and more intentional, amplifying her fear. Despite seeking comfort in seclusion, the safety she craved feels distant, as though she is still exposed and vulnerable. Leslie debates whether staying any longer is the right choice. Torn between the desire to push through and the growing sense of unease, she takes a moment to consider her options. Then, something happens that makes her decision clear. A flashlight flickers in the distance, cutting through the trees. Leslie's heart skips a beat. She can't be sure if it's the same person from earlier, but the feeling of being watched is unmistakable. Panic rushes through her. Without a second thought, she hurriedly packs up her tent, grabbing her belongings as quickly as possible. The forest no longer feels like an adventure. It feels like a trap. She doesn't stop to check if anyone is close, knowing it's better not to risk it. Leslie retraces her steps, moving swiftly through the woods toward the path that will lead her out. The once serene environment now feels hostile, every shadow a potential threat. She doesn't stop until she reaches her car, locking the doors behind her. Her pulse slowly begins to settle, though adrenaline still courses through her veins. As the tension finally eases, a sense of disappointment lingers. She had come so far for an adventure, only for it to turn into a nightmare. But in that moment, all that mattered was her safety, though she would never know if the person had bad intentions or was simply another hiker. The fear she felt in those moments was enough to confirm her decision to leave. Listening to her instincts had kept her safe, and that was all that mattered. Luckily, this story had a safe ending. What do you think about these creepy encounters? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable while camping? Let us know in the comments below.